Hey, what's up everyone, this is Jats Alex, and today I got my review of the Sony S1 tablet. Let's take a look at this thing. Alright, quickly I just want to go over the specs. It's got a 9.4 inch screen, that would be diagonal. It is running Honeycomb 3.1 currently, probably be updated along with everything else. It has an NVIDIA Tegra 2 processor, certified by PlayStation, meaning it can run PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 games like on the market, or emulators I believe, not fully sure on that. It has 16 gigs of memory, can be updated to you can get also the 32 gigabyte version, and along with a VGA front-facing camera, which if you don't know is a 0.3 megapixel camera, and a 5 megapixel camera on the back. Now let's take a look at what's actually physically how it looks. So if you don't already know, it's a wedge shape. So it's got this kind of unique, thicker at the top, like an inch thick, down to here, a quarter-inch thick. It's also got this little lip on the bottom, and the top is very rounded. Let's look at the left for starter. So it's got this kind of indent. The right has it too. It's got a headphone jack on the left, pretty standard. A cover to remove to get a mini USB and an SD card slot. Sorry, this is a new camera. If it's a little out of focus, still getting used to it. Along with down here, we have a left side speaker and this little thing that you can use to hook up to like those little wrist lanyard kind of things, or a regular lanyard. On the right side, we have the power button along with the little light for the power button, plus volume, minus volume, got a little notch in it to tell which one's which, a reset light, and the right side speakers. On the bottom we have a wider power connection. It's more like an iPad one, but it kind of goes off to the left instead of going like straight out, or a traditional Android one that's just like a little plug. It's also got this little lip. Back also has a Sony little sign, a certified sign, and a lot of extra writing down here I find, but I don't think it's that important or that bothersome either way. It's also got two rubber nubs, which if you've ever owned like a TI-83 calculator or something like that, it's much like that. They're just kind of to keep it from getting scratched and to keep it in place. Along with this backside, it has a bit of grip to it, but it's not like gonna cut your fingers. So I really like the feel of it. It's a good solid feel. I don't feel like I'm gonna drop it or anything. Let's talk about this web shape briefly. So when you set down the table, it's got a slight angle towards you, which I find is nice. It's a little, I like holding it like this. Some games that don't let you flip over, you end up holding it with the thicker side down. I find that a little annoying, but I could see some people would like it because you can kind of put your fingers up here like a controller, like these are the bumpers, and kind of grip it. But I don't know, I like it a lot better this way. As far as holding it sideways goes, as far as when you're, I don't know, doing something in portrait, if you hold it with the left, it feels much like you're kind of reading a book or something. So if you're using this as your e-reader, it's very nice holding it from the left. From the right, it just feels a little awkward, but if you don't do much reading, it probably actually won't bother you. So let's actually unlock this thing and take a look at this. Let's get this straight. I'm not going to go into Honeycomb 3.1 too much right now. If you don't know much about it, you can check out some of my other videos, or other people who have made them. I believe in my Thrive video, I'll put a little link over here. It's a review of the Thrive, but I think I go pretty in depth with the actual Honeycomb operating system. But let's focus on this right now. So it's got pretty good specs. Everything runs pretty smooth. One thing I like is that I think I have auto rotation locked. Let me make sure to turn that off. Oh, there we go. So one thing that I like is that when I turn it sideways, it turns smoothly and fairly fast. But yet at the same time, if you're playing some sort of game and you're going like this, it's not too sensitive. I find some tablets like the HP touchpad are actually a little too sensitive for my taste. Of course, you can just turn on the lock if you find it too sensitive, but I find it good, and it also turns very fast. That was one of my complaints about Thrive, that it turned too slow, but yeah, I have it. I'm just gonna lock it for the sake of this video. Let's start off by talking about, for starters, the switching between menus. I've had almost no lag, I've had no crashes. It's very smooth, and I like it a lot. Let's take a look at the browser. So we'll open up the browser, we'll just refresh Google. It's a quick little site, so it refreshes very fast on the website. I find I really like the browser and the keyboard. So the keyboard I find very responsive if you're typing something. Unlike some of the other tablets, more specifically Android based, I've had lag issues with the keys taking a while to show up or just other things in that area. This I find much better, not perfect, much better in that sense. It could also be improvement from the actual operating system, but we'll hope it's the tablet itself. Over here on the left we got kind of this, you can click on here and get all your numbers and like add or percent or money signs pretty fast and easy. And then if you really want to get into it, you can get into a lot of the crazy signs like TM, I don't know, all this other junk, the European money sign, the euro, and all that other junk. Sorry for you guys that are European that I just called your money symbol junk. Yeah, so that's all I wanted to talk about. We'll go to one website. We'll go to, let's just go to msn.com and take a look. As far as the Flash browser goes, the Flash browser works fine. Oh, I forgot this is their mobile site, whatever. It loads very fast. I'm on my home Wi-Fi, and I mean, I'm using Fios. If you don't know anything about Fios, it's pretty much the fastest internet in the country. Everything loads very fast. It's smooth. No complaints on that end. One thing that I did find interesting was my quadrant score was a tad lower. I don't want to actually run a whole test of that. It takes time. The quadrant score was actually a little lower than you'd expect it to be. It was about, I think it ran about 200 points less than the Thrive. I don't feel it. I feel like this runs a lot smoother than the Thrive did. Briefly talk about some of the Sony apps that come with it. We got the Music Unlimited, which it's just gonna sell music. It's currently not up and running yet, but will hopefully be kind of like the Amazon Music Store, but just sell music. Help. They're trying to get these, these things are trying to, all these Android things are trying to compete with the iPad, which the greatest thing it has is just music and its smoothness. What else does it have? It has the video app, which is actually kind of in a beta. That's not called beta, but it pretty much is in a beta because when you open it up, you only get a choice of 5 movies. They're all in standard definition. They're about 99 cents. So I actually rented out some of these movies, and even though they're in standard definition, they looked really good on the screen. I find the screen to be bright, crisp, and like when you pinch, oh, we can't pinch to zoom here. Well, I'll go to back to pinch to zoom. Everything's very legible. I'm sorry if the camera's a little out of focus. It looked nice. It streamed. I rented the movie and watched it as it downloaded to see like how well it could download and buffer and all that, and it did very well. I had a little bit of lag once in a while, but I mean that could definitely, this is still in its early stages, so if you're gonna buy this, and you'll probably have it for a while, in the coming time it'll be a good music store. I see it becoming. It's also got a music player. That's the Android based one. Gallery and more Android stuff. Let's see, what do we want? Let's talk about the games real quick. We'll just play a game real quick to just show that it works smooth. We'll just start the game. And forgot to mention just kind of the sound. The sound sounds decent. I mean, it's a tablet, so I'm never expecting the music to sound amazing. But I was actually pretty impressed with the iPad's 2 improvements of the music, or the speakers, I'm sorry. But I mean, this is definitely good if you're just playing games or whatever and you're not trying to, I don't know, do something weird with the tablet. It'll be fine. And as you can see, it's very responsive. It's handling the game just fine. I've played 5, 6, 7 games on this, and they've all run smooth. I've had this thing has never crashed on me. It has never just randomly restarted. It's been good. Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, that runs plenty smooth. The Wi-Fi works fine. The operating system works fine. Everything is very smooth. There's probably some other Sony based apps that I'm forgetting about, but those were the key ones I wanted to talk about. If you were thinking about buying this, and if you want to know if I'd recommend it, I would, just from the fact that it runs smooth, but on one condition. I highly recommend that you go to a store where they have this in stock, like so you can actually hold it, like at Best Buy or something, and just make sure that you don't mind holding this wedge-shaped device. I mean, I had a few people hold it, a few of my friends and family members just kind of hold it. I mean, they're not tech geniuses or no million things. It was just kind of their natural feel. Like hopefully you guys, they all liked it, had about the same thoughts as me. You know, I would still recommend just double checking. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.